What's up YouTube, it's Sean here and I'm back today to give you a review of the COS collaboration with Saucony on the Kinvara 4 RE from the Infinite Galaxy pack. So this is a collaboration between Saucony and COS, which is a boutique based out of Shenzhen, China. And I've reviewed some of COS' past collaborations on my channel before, and I have to say they're pretty underrated when it comes to their collaborations with major brands. So this time they're releasing this Infinite Galaxy pack, which includes this shoe right here, which is the Saucony Kinvara 4. So this was originally released as a performance running shoe just under 10 years ago, but because of modern day sneaker trends, they've decided to bring these back as more of a casual use sneaker. So these dropped on COS website on September 27th. As of right now, I don't know if these are going to have a wider release, especially here in Canada, but either way, they retailed on the COS website for just under 1,000 Chinese yuan, which is roughly 140 US dollars or 190 translated to Canadian dollars. And the official colorway for this shoe is either space gray or interstellar gray, depending on the website or the source. And I don't know if this is part of the pack, but I was looking on COS website and there's a similarly themed Shadow 6000 model as well, which looks very similar to this shoe. So I don't know if it is or it isn't part of the same pack, but I found that interesting nonetheless. And before we go any further, I want to give a huge thank you over to COS for sending me over this pair. They also sent me this shirt as well, which has COS logo on the chest, done sort of in this space-like theme. And they also sent this nylon bag as well. So we have Saucony on one side and COS branding on the other side. And instead of a traditional box, the shoes came in this bag. So you can see here, we have Saucony branding and COS branding here. And then on the back, again, going back to that whole space theme, you can see how that's translated on the back. So jumping into the details of the shoe itself, starting things off with the toe box, this is covered in a semi-translucent ripstop nylon material. Overlaid on the sides of the toe box, we have a very soft and smooth gray colored nubuck, and then surrounding the front toe cap, we have another overlay of nubuck here as well. This is done in a slightly different tone, and we have the small Saucony logo on the lateral side. Covering the eyelets, we have more of that same gray colored nubuck, and then underneath this on the mid panel, we have another layer of ripstop nylon, and then overlaid on top of this, we have this large Saucony stripe. This is done in part in the shaggy, long-haired suede, but the layer underneath this is done in this iridescent finish, which goes back to the whole space theme of the shoe. Next to this, we have a gray colored TPU layer, which gives you additional support and structure around the sides of the shoe. And then around the top portion of the ankle collar area, we have more ripstop. And then beneath this, looping around the top of the heel, we have another layer of nubuck, and we have Saucony branding on the lateral side in dark gray. Beneath this, covering the bottom of the heel, we have this stiff TPU heel cup, which gives you support and structure around the heel of the sneaker. And then hanging off the back, we have a gray colored pull tab, which helps to get your foot into the shoe a little bit easier. As far as the laces go, so these come with two different lace options. The standard lace that they come with are these super thin long rope laces, and the laces loop through this plastic lace lock, giving it more of a trail inspired flavor. But if you don't like these laces, they also come with a secondary flat style gray lace as well to give the shoe a bit more of a traditional look and style. Underneath this, the bottom half of the tongue is covered in ripstop. However, we have a layer of nubuck on the top with Saucony branding in blue on the top of the left foot and COS branding on the top of the right foot. The back of the tongue and the interior liner of the shoe, this is covered in a light gray colored mesh. And then for the insoles, these come with a pretty well padded foam lined insole. It's lined in black on the top, and we have Saucony branding on the top of the right foot and the COS logo on the left foot. So the upper of the Kinvara 4, it sits atop this chunky EVA foam midsole, which is purposely given this distressed look, which matches the look and aesthetic of the upper. So the original Kinvara 4 featured power grid foam technology, but I don't think that this retro version does, at least it doesn't say it anywhere on this shoe. And then incorporated within the midsole, we have a hard TPU plate, which gives the shoe a bit more firmness and stability around the heel of the sneaker. And then finally for the outsole, so this is done in this dark gray colored rubber. We have this triangular shaped traction pattern on the forefoot, and you can see in the middle, we have these two cream colored plates, which helps with torsional rigidity and midfoot support. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And for those wondering about how these fit, so in my case, I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side. COS sent me this shoe in a size 10, and they fit me pretty well, but they're slightly on the snug side. So getting these in my true size, there was just under an index finger's width space between the edge of the shoe and the top of my toe. So I feel like if you're in between sizes, or if you have a really wide foot, you might be better off going up half a size, because I feel like this shoe runs a little bit snug, partly also because of the drop between the heel and the forefoot. So naturally your foot kind of just slides a little bit forward, which kind of pushes my toes closer to the edge. But if you're okay with more of a snug one-to-one fit, I feel like you should be okay going true to size for this shoe too. Moving on to the comfort, so the Kinvara 4 is a pretty comfortable sneaker. Keep in mind again, this was originally released as a performance running shoe, so there's a lot of tech within the sneaker, and that translates very well for underfoot cushioning. So especially underneath the heel, you feel quite a bit of squishiness to it. It's not super cushioned to the point where you're kind of unstable and wobbly, but it's enough cushioning that you can feel that plushness underfoot. The upper of the shoe too is extremely lightweight, and like I just mentioned earlier, the drop between the forefoot and the heel, it feels a little bit higher than I'm normally used to. Not to the point where it's uncomfortable, but it's kind of noticeable that when I'm wearing these, it feels like my feet are pointed downwards just a little bit. So that's something to keep in mind depending on your personal preferences. Finally, in terms of the quality and craftsmanship, so keep in mind the original Kinvara 4, for the most part they were released with performance-oriented materials. However, for this pair, they actually utilize very good materials all around. So the nubucks and the suedes utilized on this shoe feel very nice, very genuine, and they don't have like a synthetic feel to it. So I think that mixed in with those synthetic materials like the ripstop and the TPU layers, they work together very, very well. The build of the shoe too I thought was fine. There weren't any obvious flaws that I could see. The stitch job was good. Obviously they wanted to make the shoe look a little bit more distressed, so we have these vintage looking touches around the midsole. Love it or hate it, it's just what it is. But at the end of the day, I thought these were very well built and very well put together. So with all that out of the way now, let's toss these on feet. I'll lace them up and I'll show you guys how these look. As cliche as it sounds, I really think this shoe looks a lot better in person than it did in the initial images. I wasn't sure how I would feel about this distressed looking midsole, but I think it really works well with the look, the colors, and the aesthetic of the upper. This kind of reminds me of like the colors or the textures of the moon, and it's subtle enough that you can wear this as an everyday type of sneaker, while it still retains unique touches like the unique materials and these iridescent hits around the Saucony logo. So kudos to Koss and Saucony. They've done an incredible job on this collaboration. I wish I could tell you if these are going to be dropping in North America, especially in Canada, but as of right now, I honestly don't know. So good luck for those that are trying to pick these up. They're still sitting in most sizes on Koss website, so hopefully that means you can grab these cheaper on the secondary market, or eventually they'll make their way here in North America. So leave your thoughts down below, let me know what do you guys think about this collaboration, and as usual, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at sgo8, check me out on X at sean.go spelled out, and visit my website at seango.ca. So thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. Another huge thank you goes out to Koss. Thank you so much for sending me over this pair, the shirt and the bag. It's all really, really dope. So until next time, I'll catch all of you in my next review.